All right, up next we have Super Monkey Ball Adventure. Don't forget that there is a name incentive if you donate enough money, or sorry, not name incentive, you get to decide which monkey gets played. Right now, Baby's winning with $329. The closest is Gon Gon with 136. You have up until the start of that run to get it in, so only a few more minutes. So if you want to see Gon Gon, Mimi, or Ai played, get your money in there. $75 from Cappy. Super Monkey Ball 2 during working hours? Goodbye productivity. I agree with that. $20 from G Chris. So psyched for Super Monkey Ball 2. It was a Monkey Ball video that first got me started on GDQ. Same for me, actually. Thank you for that donation. $250 donation from Kylie. As a grad student who's getting a PhD in cancer biology, glad to see good effort go to the cause. My fellow grad students are awesome fans of AGDQ, and thanks for everyone for making this week great. An anonymous donation of $29.68. Monkey Ball 2 is one of my favorite games from childhood, but I've never been able to get past the world and the whale. Here's hoping Duong enjoys his journey through Hoenn. Alright guys, and without further ado, I'm going to toss it over to Alice, who's going to be replacing me as the host here at Awesome Games Done Quick 2017. I'm Evanosaurus Rex, and I hope you guys have a great rest of your evening.
You are watching AGDQ, representing the Prevent Cancer Foundation. The Prevent Cancer Foundation is one of the nation's leading voluntary health organizations and the only U.S. nonprofit focused solely on cancer prevention and early detection. Founded in 1985, it has catapulted cancer prevention to dominance and fulfills its message through research, education, outreach, and advocacy across the country. For more information, please visit www.preventcancer.org. We have an $80 donation from Mackin that just says, "Thank you, everybody." We have a $5 anonymous donation that just says, "Hello from Erfurt, Eastern Germany." We have a $20 donation from Censored Otaku. In celebration of my dad, Randy, fought colon cancer and defeated it over 30 years ago. Good doctors and treatments gave me 30 years or more with my hero that I wouldn't have had. This donation is also in memory of my aunt who fought breast cancer bravely but didn't make it. Because my dad still can't stomach Red Dead Redemption's first mission where you had to kill the coyotes, let's save the animals. We have an anonymous $10 donation. 2016 has been a rough year for my fiance and I. She lost a loved one to cancer in October, and I lost a loved one to cancer between Christmas and New Year's. I had to spend January 1st at a wake. Let's beat cancer together. Greetings from Long Island, New York. And with that, we're going to throw it over to the runner with Super Monkey Ball Adventure.
All right, we all good? We all ready? All right. So before we start, I want to get a roll call on the couch, please.
I'm Ghost King Gene 1.
This is Penophobia again.
All right, so part of the reason I'm having the couch say the names first is there is a lot of ridiculous stuff in this run, and it is 20 minutes long, and I'll probably forget to explain something, but there is a lot to explain. So I'm ready to start. Do I just give a countdown? You all good? All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right.
Good luck, pokehero.
Welcome to the worst Monkey Ball game ever made, and possibly the worst GameCube game ever made. So first off, there's this 12-second load. That's pretty good. Second off, this is a hold-up level. We're going to bounce into this wall and die, apparently. That's a bad collision there. So that will become apparent very easily. So the first thing you'll see is that I'm doing this little swerves back and forth, and it basically allows us to accelerate faster and to keep a higher top speed. It really doesn't, think of it like boosting in Monkey Ball 2 like we did, but it's slightly different.
Yeah, the base movement speed in this game is actually pretty slow.
Yeah, there'll be one level holding up. There'll be one level coming up here that is, I'll just be holding up on, and you'll see like how slow it is. Another thing you saw was on the first level, I bounced into a wall, and that's when I got the winky collision, and I fell off the stage. But basically, this game is really good with collision. Like, if you thought Monkey Ball 2 was bad, then you'll be kind of amazed at what the collision does. So here's a stage where I just hold up. It's kind of slow. It's a good stage. All right. Too kind. Anyway, so wall bouncing is really weird. We don't know exactly how it works, but we have a pretty good theory. So the game kind of works like it checks your collision around you, And if you get too far off in one direction by going too fast, the game doesn't seem to want to cooperate a lot, and there's no real reason why this happens. Anyways, so if you go fast enough to a wall, which you can achieve the speed by swerving. Good, got that. That's pretty hard. Anyways, so if you can achieve that speed by swerving, then you can actually enter a wall, and you'll actually enter the wall for 1 frame, and then the game will go, hey, wait a minute, you're not supposed to be inside this wall, and it spits you out with a faster speed than when you entered it. It's pretty good. So we're able to gain speed by just ramming ourselves into walls instead of just moving forward. This is another good example of just, oh yeah, we got music glitch. So sometimes the music just cuts out. It's pretty good. We get to hear Baby yell. Okay, the music came back good. So this level right here is a really weird example. Oh, okay. So I'll actually be able to show this off now. I'll be able to get the same collision every time when I die by doing this. So I'll be able to, which was much better than what you previously saw. So that level runs on a global cycle. When you start the difficulty until you die, the game actually has the stage running. Oh, that's unfortunate. The stage actually has a tongue twister running in the background, and unless you die, it actually keeps going the entire time. And so what you can do is you just kind of hope. It's not quite RNG since it does run on a global cycle, but it is the most amount of luck you're going to need in this run from any one stage. And it's the only example of that in the run. I don't know why they would bother to program that when they only use it for one stage. All right, so that's beginner done. This game has 3 difficulties: beginner, advanced, and expert. And the category all difficulties does all 3 of these. And so we're going to menu in between it with these 12-second load times.
And there's a reason you choose baby, right?
Yeah, well,
It's for load times.
well, the people chose baby. I'm not fond of baby, but baby is in fact the fastest. So not because they play differently or anything, but purely because when you pick baby, the game loads faster. There's no other explanation. Ai is the slowest, Mimi's a little bit slower than Gongon, and Gongon's second, and then baby's just like a second better than everybody else. It's kind of weird. Shouts to Deathline.
Yeah, the developer tier list.
My only guess is that there are different parts in the code, and the game just tries to grab whatever closest, but that's honestly just a guess. So stage moves backwards, so we kind of have this like weird backwards camera roll going on here. I'm actually using almost exclusively the mini-map on this level because I hate actually looking at the level because I'm going to get motion sickness that way. So advanced has the longest like time per stage, if that was a statistic. There's a lot of stages that are really, really long right next to each other. Expert has a couple, but advanced by far takes the cake. There's 12 levels in beginner, 20 in advanced. Okay, so you're thinking, all right, there's 12 levels in beginner, there's 20 in advanced. So what is there in expert, like 30? I don't know, 35 or something? It has 17. Don't ask me why. It doesn't even have 50 stages. This is a monkey ball game and has 49 stages in it. This is a sad excuse for a game. And if you can't tell, this game came out in 2006, like 3 months before the Wii came out. This game came out after Monkey Ball 2, and this game looks horrible. All right, so we're gonna do a couple, I believe these are 16 pixel tricks, but you're also kind of sliding. You probably can't tell, but this game has really awful physics. In addition to like not just being able to collide. Oh yeah, this level's good. So this level normally takes about 28 seconds, but we can just kind of do this. It's pretty good. Yeah, so this game slides a lot. Like your monkey slides. I mean, it kind of helps when you're doing swerving. All right, got it. Cool. Actually, that helps when you're swerving to have the game kind of slide underneath you. But otherwise, it's kind of a nuisance, especially on holes in beginner, where you have to do that really sharp turn, and it just kind of can screw you over at any time without it really being inside your control. So this is one of only 2 jumps we really do. Wasn't that exciting? We do another one off a wall in expert, and it's the only wall bounce we use to get a jump. Obviously, there's no jump button, but we can abuse this game's bad collision to our advantage. So this one's a little bit tricky. All right. Nope, 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 nope. All right. So one thing you probably also noticed that when Peanut was doing his Monkey Ball 2 run, you know, you always aim for the tape. Yeah, you can get a little bit off. You can hit the party ball or whatever a little bit. But ultimately, you have... all right, that's much better. You ultimately have to hit the goal tape. In this game, it doesn't care. As long as you're below the numbers, it generally counts. All right, so here's the hard strat I'm going to go for in this run. I'm going to give it 3 tries. All right, that's try number 1. This is just kind of one of those things where it abuses all the game's mechanics. And if I get it, I'll explain what the third one is. Because not only is there swerving and wall bouncing, there's actually a third thing this game doesn't do right. All right, one more try. And then I'm just going to do the stage normally.
Pokehero, is this a good time to interject? Because we have a very large donation.
All right.
We have $40,000 from the Yeti. Woo! Which says, "Hey all, Yeti here. It is our 5th year working with Games Done Quick. So to celebrate, we've increased our donation from each tea sold from $3 to $4. With your incredible support, we've raised a total of $40,000, world record pace, in the first 2 days alone. Thank you all so much. We have so much love for these events, and we're so happy to see the community come together for such a great cause."
Shout outs to the Yeti. Make great t-shirts.
Oh, okay. That was good collision right there. Sometimes there's just stuff like that you can't really avoid in this game. Anyways, what I was gonna explain when I was doing circuits was on that stage what I was trying to do is I was trying to get myself wedged inside the like squares at the beginning, and that would allow me to do something called edge grinding. And much like wall bouncing, we're not entirely sure why it works. We just kind of have a theory. So Monkey Ball games actually kind of cheat in how they do their physics. I mean, it's obviously that their physics engine wasn't great in the first place, but their gravity value actually isn't an acceleration value. So they actually just made the air have no friction. So, I mean, that's not really a problem when you're just doing a fall down stage or whatever. It's hardly noticeable. But when you're doing a stage like this where you have a awful collision and you can abuse it, you can actually stay on the edge of a platform, but the game thinks you're over air, so you actually gain speed because the game thinks you're in the air, not on land. And that's used for a couple of stages, excuse me. All right, this is one of the more boring levels. There is a really cool strat you can do on this stage where it's like skips over all the blocks, but it's super inconsistent. And nobody's ever gotten a deathless run of advanced or all difficulties where they got checkmate in it. But it's okay, because the strat's difficult, but I don't need to do it right now. Okay, just have to make sure I'm lined up. Don't care if I lose a couple seconds. All right, there we go. All right, so this next stage is pretty good. So I'm gonna wait for 15 seconds. So how's everybody's day been? That's been all right.
Pretty solid.
Pretty solid? All right.
No complaints here.
All right, that's good. That's good to hear, you guys. That's good to hear, you guys. I'm glad everybody's in such high spirits.
The marathon has been pretty great so far.
Yeah, for some reason, when they start to level off, they just put the goal like just out of reach, so you have to wait an entire cycle to get it, and there's nothing you can do to really make it faster. The only other strat that you can do says like 0.2, and it's super risky, and obviously not worth it. Which I guess is something I should explain. When you hold A in Monkey Ball games, the stage comes in faster, right? Pretty self-explanatory. But Traveler Tales, the people who made this game, decided to mess even that up. And the fact that the stage comes in faster, okay, all right, so instead of actually making the stage come in faster, it just makes the camera zoom in faster. So if you hold A, you'll get a different cycle on stages than if you didn't hold A. I don't think they actually played any of the other Monkey Ball games when they were developing this one. They just got like concept art of the characters and they're like, all right, I got it.
There were at least a few programming oversights. I was playing this last night with pokehero in the practice room, and I fell downwards into a downward slope and bounced upwards. It didn't make any sense.
I'll go for it once more because it is flashy. There's actually a slightly faster strat you can do, but this one looks cool. There we go. Nice glitch goal.
Yeah.
All right, so that's advanced. So now we're just on to expert. So for that glitch goal you saw there, glitch goal is basically where you just come out the side that you entered. Just because this game's bad. I don't know. There's really not another
It can happen
explanation.
in Monkey Ball 2 too.
Yeah, it can. It's just. Yeah, I guess it can. I don't really know what else to say, but this game is. I guess it happens more often because there are certain tape positions in this game where they're just not centered, and you can hit them without ever actually touching the goalpost. I don't really know why that is. Come on. Save it, save it. Yeah, all right.
Nice.
So we had a couple levels of this earlier, but this is actually a gravity stage where the way I'm moving the level actually impacts how the stage moves. So you see I'm turning here, and the blocks are moving wherever I turn the stage. I'm gonna go for a little boost. Nice, got it. And there's a couple of those. It's kind of a weird physics. They don't ever explain it to you or anything. They just expect you to figure it out, which I most certainly did it without having to look up. All right, didn't get any of the edge grinds there, so I will have to take this a little bit slow. All right, still good. All right, so on Overrun, we kind of had to rely on a lucky clip. This level is literally just hope you get a lucky clip, and didn't get one. All right. Now we try again. That should work. Yeah, all right, cool. Second try, not bad. We then wait on this cycle, and we can make it from here. This is where the actual second jump we use comes in, where we bounce off a wall into the goal. Or not into the goal, onto another platform, excuse me. All right, right here. It saves like 0.6 seconds, but it's super cool looking. That was it, yeah. Woo. All right, so that is the longest stage we do in the run. No matter how you do it, it takes about 35 seconds. Immediately followed by the shortest stage. Yay. So if you recall, when I said about the stages coming in at different speeds, that actually wastes about 3 seconds to let the stage come in on its own. But if a strat saves more than 3 seconds by letting it come in, then it's worth it. So for this strat saves 0.4 seconds by us waiting and not holding A at the beginning. But it's so consistent, so it's not even worth worrying about. It's worth the 0.4 seconds. Also, shout out to Stinky Stats for being the best level name. I still have no idea what the heck that means. Okay, nice glitch goal.
Wow.
All right. Cutting it close. So it's all about memorization. Oh, come on. I didn't get a bounce off the jaw bridge, so kind of my fault for going a little bit too early. Not a big deal, though. The stage isn't too bad. Yeah, okay, that's a bit of a bounce. And then we use that to get to the goal. Nice. All right, pretty simple. We're almost done with expert now. There is like one other thing I want to say about this run, though, and that it's very, 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 well, it's very because this collision is bad, but besides that, this game is actually really difficult to get good at, because in order to get good at it, you have to actually get good at the physics. There's definitely enough resources now than there used to be about videos for this game, but overall it isn't too bad. And actually, now would be a good time for a donation.
All right. We have an anonymous $20 donation. Must support. Thanks for doing everything behind the scenes that nobody sees. Always great to see the support from the community.
All right, I've been having struggles with this next level coming up, but it looks really cool if you get it first try, so let's hope. Ah, too short, too short. I didn't get a second bounce when I hit the hill. And also, I've never done this stage normally in my life, so I don't know a backup strat. I have to go for this. There we go. All right, second try. There's second try. Not bad. I was expecting that to take like 7 and then, I don't know, bad things to happen. That timer always glitches to consecutive digits, and there's really no reason why. It just kind of does. I don't know, it feels that way. Edgy.
On every stage?
No, just that one.
Okay.
Just that one.
Huh.
It wants to be different, I guess. It's just a phase. This stage is really annoying. This is the other long stage I was talking about in Expert. Bumps was the first one where I had to get that really lucky clip at the beginning. And then this is the second one. All right, so that takes about 30 seconds. If you're really fast, you can do it in under 30 seconds, but I wasn't gonna risk trying to save 2 seconds on this. All right, this one also requires good collision, which is a myth. All right, we got it. All right, there's 2 stages left now. This stage is really funny because if you've never seen it before, it's kind of, I'm just gonna let it play out. Don't ask me where it comes from. I don't even know. All right, this is the last stage. It's actually really easy to choke on this stage because you have to get a really precise angle off this. And okay. Okay, and time.
Nice.
So how was that for a GameCube game, huh? 2006. I like to refer to it as Sonic 06's weird Sega cousin. All right, that's Super Monkey Ball Adventure. Thanks for watching.